Hello. Hi guys, welcome, good morning. So we've got a couple of minutes before we get going. Good morning, my love. Good morning. Beautiful people. Iro, Deba. Hello, lots of you I haven't seen for ages. Good morning. Oh, amazing. How are you guys this morning? I hope everybody is well. I know the light is in my face at the moment, but when I move that will change. You guys can hear me. Hello, Teresa. Hi guys. Beautiful. Good morning, you are all beautiful. Amazing. Okay, so this morning we will do, so my name is Nick Dark, for anybody who hasn't done a flow with me before. This is Vinyasa Flow, and I will always give you variations for different poses, so it's up to you what you take. It's all about doing what's right for your body. Please be careful because you're at home and I'm not there to kind of make sure that you're looking after yourself in all your poses, so very much listen to your body and give it what it needs. Incidentally, I have found an osteopath that does online consultations should anybody need it at all with all these workout classes at home. And we're going to do Vinyasa Flow, so we'll keep moving and we'll keep with the breath. I will start with a little bit of breath work and then we'll get straight into flow. I have a block. You may or may not wish to have one or something similar, or maybe a can of beans might work if you don't have a block, who knows. There was also a playlist which I shared. So everybody is good to go, I think. We will start with some breath work and then we will get moving. So on your mats, you can either take a seat on your block or just straight on the mat to do breath work as you wish. You can sit or you can lie down. You can come into Supta Baddha Konasana, which is soles of the feet together, lying flat down on the mat. Or you can come in constructive resting pose, which is soles of the feet on the mat, knees together. So you can either be like this or like this. Or you can sit. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to sit to coach you through breath work. So first of all, get yourselves comfy and we'll do a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. In through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Just to rid yourself of any mental chatter. Right, we're just going to bring ourselves more fully into the body, onto the mat. Do as many of those deep breaths as you like. And then I want you to start to just breathe in and out through the nose. So we're going to close our mouths and breathe in and out through the nose, just bringing all our attention to that breath. So feeling it come into the body, filling up the torso, expanding and opening, and exhaling, collapsing and closing back down again, emptying the breath. In and out through the nose, and as you draw the breath down, really use the diaphragm, that big muscle across the bottom of the rib cage, to really draw the breath deep down into the body. So you should be nice and relaxed across the chest and the shoulders, and all the movement will be coming, like it's breathing into your stomach almost, coming from the torso as you inhale and exhale, collapsing back in. And that breath, using that diaphragm, is your most efficient way to breathe. It's also going to help build your lung capacity, and it's also going to move you into your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest. So we're getting rid of any stress, we're getting rid of sympathetic, fight and flight. We're dropping right into calm, heal, nourish mode. And so with that breath, I want you to start thinking about setting an intention for practice. Now, your intention might be someone or something that you want to dedicate your practice to, or it might be something that you want to embody within yourself, like a sense of resolve, a way of being. Now, I'd like to just suggest at this time, there is so much fear and panic, or maybe even apathy towards what's going on. And actually, you can play your part by projecting the brightest version of you, by resonating your light, your power. So let's think about maybe setting an intention that pushes that out, that energetic frequency that you give off is going to be of a higher vibration. So maybe that's love, maybe that's a promise and a commitment to yourself to focus on living your life maybe slightly differently after we step out of this. What reality do we want? It's down to us to create it. So how do we come to the table? What energy and vibration are we going to bring to that? Is it one of fear and whatever, or is it one of power and love? And how do we want to encourage that in others? So what I'm going to do now is pair that with a piece of breath work. So with that intention, we're going to do a 3-stage breath. So first of all, on your next inhale, you're just going to take a nice deep breath into the diaphragm to the bottom of the stomach. When you exhale, exhale out that intention. We'll do it 2 more times. Inhale into the stomach. On your exhale, exhale out that intention. Last one. Inhale into the stomach. Exhale out that intention. Okay, good. 2 more rounds, but we're going to build. This time on your exhale, maybe add a mantra that embodies your intention. So it could be a word. I love you too, guys. It could be a word. Maybe it's just yes. Or, you know, my meditation teacher likes to say, fuck yeah. But I probably shouldn't swear. But it's up to you guys, right? So next inhale, we're going to breathe into the stomach. And then breathe in a bit more into the rib cage. So it's like we're building up the body. And then exhale. Yes! Again, inhale into the stomach. Inhale into the ribs. And exhale out your intention. Using whatever word you like. Again, inhale into the stomach. Inhale into the ribs. And exhale out your intention. Yes! All right, good, you guys. Last round, we're going to breathe into the stomach, into the ribs, and then right up into the chest. And on your exhale, again, if you just want to do it out through the mouth, ha. If you want to do it, yes. Or if you want to do an om, it's entirely up to you. Into the stomach, into the ribs, into the chest, and exhale out your intention. 2 more times. Into the stomach, into the ribs, into the chest, and exhale out your intention. Yes! 1 more time, last time. Into the stomach, into the ribs, into the chest, and last time, exhale out that intention. All right, good, you guys. Hopefully now that is firmly set within you and you're nice and energized in a way that resonates with you. So now I want you to sit on the mat. We're just going to do a little mobility stretch before we get in. So I want you to sit with one knee bent in front of you and one knee bent behind you. So you can stand on kneeling, and then you can sit down and you can just spin both knees out to the side, and then all we're going to do is just exhale down over one knee at a time. So you can start on one side. Just take a couple of breaths while you're there, lengthening out the spine, and then come back up again. If it's easy to come back up onto your knees, you can. Then spin the shins the other way, sit back down, and exhale down over the other shin. Just starting to open up the back and the glutes a little bit in a really gentle, grounded way to start off with. Good. All right, then when you are ready, I want you to come into tabletop position on the mat. So hands and knees, shoulders over hands, hips over knees. Take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale back to child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead to mat. So you're flat down on the mat with your hips to your heels, arms out in front of you. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here, and we're going to do a full body scan, working from the toes up to the fingertips. Just make sure when you're in child's pose and you're reaching out that you're giving your neck and your shoulders enough space. It's very easy to reach and create tension and tightness here. Ease out. Make sure those hands are firmly connected, but neck and shoulders nice and relaxed when we're down. And then working our way up through the feet, up through the shins. Notice any areas of tightness through the soles of the feet, the ankles, through the calves and the knees, as we're sat down deep into them, through the thighs, into the hips, the glutes. Worth noticing what's tight, what feels good that we can really sink into. Down through the length of the spine, abdomen, across the chest, breathing in and out through the nose, all the while opening the body gently around the shoulders, the neck, and again those hands firmly connected to the mat. Beautiful. All right, from child's pose, next inhale, forward back to tabletop again, and then we're going to do cat-cow in tabletop. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale into cow. So the back drops down towards the mat, chest opens, neck, you don't need to wrench back, just look forward. You want a nice smooth line from tail up to the crown of the head. And exhale, you're going to stuck the spine to the ceiling, draw your stomach to your spine and release your neck and your head. Inhale, cow, opening through the chest, arching the back, hips tilt. Exhale, stomach to spine. Inhale. Now you can move around with it. You can sink back into your hips as you inhale and exhale. Work with your full breath pace. And as you exhale into cat, if you want to sink your hips back a little bit more, you'll get more opening at the lower back rather than the thoracic. Push back into it. Inhale, you can roll through the shoulders. Exhale, you can round and roll with the breath. It doesn't have to be a static pose. Do whatever feels good for you. This is about getting into your body. And then when we're on our next exhale to cat, then you can just sink back into child's pose again and maybe just stretch from one side to the other. So you can walk your hands over to one side. So maybe walk your hands over to the left hand side and you get a nice stretch through the right hand side of the body. And then you can walk your hands over to the left hand side and get the right hand side and then get a nice stretch through the left hand side of the body. Just all the while down on the mat, opening through the sides of the body. Good, you guys. And then when you're ready, back to tabletop, and you're gonna exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees, push back into downward facing dog. And take a few nice deep breaths here and get comfortable in your downward facing dog. So again, with downward facing dog, your legs do not need to be straight out with heels touching. You've got to look after your lower back and your hamstrings. If there's any tightness there, then bend the knees. You want straight through the hands, up through to the hips. So releasing the neck and the head, pushing the hips to the sky. You can ease out those legs if it feels good for you. But if you want to bend them, then bend them so you get all the hinge through the hips. And again, take a few breaths here to get comfortable in your downward facing dog. So again, you can walk from left foot to right foot and right foot to left foot to open out the backs of the hamstrings. You can circle your hips. You can move around. You make sure your hands are shoulder width distance apart. So again, we've got a nice bit of space in our neck and our shoulders in downward facing dog. Super easy to create tension here. And then when you're here, then also try and think about turning the insides of the elbows out a little bit. So what you do is you then open and create openness in the shoulders by just that tilt in the arms when you're in downward facing dog. All right, so a couple of breaths here then in your downward facing dog. Making sure you can see me. Good, you guys. Then when you're ready, you're going to inhale forward to plank. So you might need to lengthen the stance a little bit into plank. And then you're going to lower knees, chest, chin to the mat. And then inhale, a little baby cobra. So shoulders just gently lift away from the mat. Exhale, child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead to mat. One breath. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, another couple of breaths in your downward facing dog here to get comfortable. So again, just easing out all the time. Nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Next, inhale, forward to plank. May need to lengthen the stance. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. And then inhale, either cobra or up dog. It's entirely up to you, however open you feel. And then straight to downward facing dog. So tucking the toes, lifting the knees, pushing with the hands and the hips. And take another couple of breaths in your downward facing dog. Good. Right, the bottom of your next exhale, bend your knees, look forward and hop or step both feet up to your hands. You're going to inhale for a halfway lift. Halfway lift means flat back, gaze to the floor so the neck is in line with the spine. Bend the knees a little bit to make that easy. And then exhale, fold forward. And again, in your forward fold, it's not a race to have the straightest legs possible. That's great if you've got straight legs, wonderful. But if you're pushing your legs out straight and you're taking all the bend through the back, bend the knees and release the back. Let go. Take a couple of breaths here. With a bend in the knees, engage the thighs and the glutes. And then on your inhale, suck your abdomen to your spine and roll one vertebrae at a time all the way up to stand. Good, you guys. Rolling shoulders up and back, away from our ears. Hands in prayer, heart center at the top of the mat. Good, you guys. Nice deep breath. In through the nose. Keep that intention in mind. Exhale, out through the mouth. Now we're going to get flowing. Inhale, hands in prayer to the sky. Gaze to follow. Maybe a baby back bend. Exhale, fold forward, hinging through the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Gaze to the floor, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands to the mat. Step or float both feet back, and you can lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, which is high through low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Thighs engaged off the ground, so you're supporting your lower back. Look ahead, not up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Nice deep breath here. In and out through the nose. Bottom of your exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or float, both feet up to your hands. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Inhale, hands in prayer to the sky, gaze to follow, all the way up. And exhale, fold forward, all the way back down again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands to the mat. Step or float, both feet back. And again, lower. Chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. It's entirely up to you. Shoulders back, elbows tucked. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Breathe. Nice deep breath in. And out through the nose. Support your practice with your breath. That oxygen feeding the muscles. In and out through the nose, keeping you calm. Good. All right, next inhale, your right foot is going to step between your hands, come up warrior one, so that back heel earths, and you lift the torso, warrior one. Good. Now here, exhale your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, lengthen and lift through the torso. Exhale, humble warrior, right shoulder on the inside of the right thigh. So you come down on the inside of the thigh and breathe. Take one breath whilst you're down here. And in to fill the lungs and an exhale. Squeeze all the air out on your exhale, engage your core, and then use your inhale to come back up to warrior one. So back to the top. Good. And then exhale is going to take you right back down to the mat. Right foot steps back and go through your flow. So lowering, high through low, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, heart opens. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Next, inhale, left leg is going to step between the hands. Come up, warrior one, so back foot in and down. And up you come again, nice and long and tall in your warrior one. This time, exhale the hands behind the back. Interlacing the fingers the other way around this time. Inhale and lengthen up through the torso. And exhale, humble warrior, left shoulder on the inside of the left thigh. And breathe. You can rest your hands on your sacrum or you can take them up over your head. It's entirely up to you. But again, one breath in and out whilst you're down here. Use the exhale to squeeze all the air out, engage your core, and then use the inhale to come back up to the top again. And then exhale, hands back down to the mat, frame the right foot, left foot steps back, and lower. Again, high through low. Inhale, up dog, thighs engage, shoulders down, away from your ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Take a couple of deep breaths in your downward facing dog. In and out through the nose. Good, you guys. All right, now from here, you're going to inhale your right leg up and back behind you. Now you're going to exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Shoulders are going to round over your wrist as you come forward. Inhale, up and back. You're using your core and your hip flexors. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, lifting it out to the side of the body. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. So we're going to crunch across the side of the body. Inhale, up and back. And then on your next exhale, knee to nose, last time. You're going to hold it for a beat. And then you're going to step through and stay low. Good, you guys. Right, from here, all I want you to do is drop your back leg, unfurl the toes, and then you're going to inhale into crescent lunge. You're just going to lift and open the chest and breathe. Take a couple of breaths here, pushing down to that back foot. Good. Exhale, hands back down to the mat, and then tuck the toes of the back foot, lift the knee, and then hop it in and down, and up you come to warrior one again. Good. Now staying here, making sure that right knee is directly over that right ankle. Now from the front, you want that knee in line with the foot. You don't want it turning in or out too much. Nice straight line through the hip, through the foot. Good, you guys. In your warrior one. Good. Exhale to warrior two. And arms out to the side. Come this way so I can see you. Good. Knee over ankle. Gaze to your right middle finger. Inhale, flip the palm and reverse your warrior. Breathe here for 3 breaths. You can reach with this hand. The left hand can hang loose. It's going to touch the back leg. No weight should be putting through there. You're working your core and you're working this front thigh. You can tuck the arm behind you and reach for that front thigh behind you if you wish. Breathing. Good. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the right knee. And exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hand to the inside of the right foot. Good. When you're ready, you're going to inhale back up to the center again. And exhale, turn your toes to the side of the mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, wide leg forward fold. So hands either down to your ankles or down to the mat. You can have fingertips in line with toes. And then you can just have a little bounce, have a little sway. Loosen everything out here. Just get those insides of the thighs opening gently. We don't ever want to wrench our joints out straight and overlock them. We always want a little baby bend, just so that we're looking after our joints and our cartilage. And take the feet as wide as you wish. It's entirely up to you. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale for a halfway lift. Then you're going to exhale, take your left hand to your right ankle, and inhale, open the right arm to the sky. And exhale, release and breathe. Next, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right hand, left ankle, and inhale, open left arm to the sky this time. Good. And exhale, release. Breathe. And again, you can take another wiggle, wobble those legs, or just gently sway or bounce, whatever feels good for you here. And then again, with a little bend in the knees, use your inhale to roll up to stand. Tuck the pelvis underneath you as you roll up, so you roll through the spine. Get nice fluid articulation. Good, you guys. Turning the toes back to the top of the mat, back to warrior two. Now we're going to come into half moon pose from here, a little balance. So I want you to grab a block if you have one. If you don't, doesn't matter. And you're going to place this on the outside of that front leg, that front foot. So from here, and then you're going to reach down and come forward into your half moon. So again, just switching so that you can see me. So where you put the block or where you put your hand is different depending on how tall you are and what length leg and arms and torso, we're all different. So what works for me may not work for you. And then what we do is we just lift that left leg up, open the hip to the sky, and open that left arm to the sky as well, and breathe. Nice balancing pose, waking up that right foot, waking up that right leg, the ankle muscles. Good. Good, and then when you're ready, you can use your inhale to step back and come back to your warrior two. You're going to inhale, flip the right palm, reverse your warrior again. And then you're going to exhale, extended side angle pose. Right forearm, right thigh, left arm up over the head. And you can breathe here. You can stay here if you wish, or you can take a variation. So again, you can use the block. You can take your hand down to the block, or you can take your hand down to the mat, or you can even find the bind with the right arm underneath your right thigh, the left arm behind your back. It's entirely up to you, whichever you wish. Or if you want to step up into bird of paradise, you can also do that. But again, no forcing anything, making sure that you're looking after the body, and you can just come back to the original extended side angle. And then you're going to inhale, reverse your warrior from here. We're going to flow between the two. Exhale, extend. Really waking up this core today, our willpower. Inhale, extend. Sorry, exhale, reverse. Nope, inhale, reverse, exhale, extend. Inhale, reverse one last time. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame the right foot steps back, and go through your flow, lowering. High through low, chaturanga. Inhale, heart opens. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, you guys. Take a couple of breaths in your downward facing dog. I've just got a couple of requests. Oh, I think maybe that wasn't on purpose. All right, you guys, breathing in your downward facing dog. Okay. Nice, you guys. In and out through the nose. When you are ready, you've refueled with nice deep breaths in and out through the nose in your downward facing dog. You're going to inhale the left leg up and back again. This time, exhale, bringing your knee to your nose, shoulders rounding over your wrists, using your core as your hip flexors, inhaling up and back. Exhaling, left knee, left elbow, keeping it high. Inhaling, up and back. Exhaling, left knee, right elbow, crunching across the side of the body. Inhaling, up and back. And then exhaling, knee to nose for the last time. So you're going to hold it for one beat, then step through and stay low. When you're ready, from your low level, thank you guys. When you're ready, from your low level lunge, you're going to drop that back knee down to the mat and unfurl the toes. You're going to inhale to crescent lunge, opening through the chest. Breathe here. And again, pushing down with that back foot, feeling the front thigh, feeling the back hip flexor, opening into it. Maybe there's a baby back bend, but just breathe. In and out through the nose, filling up that with that diaphragm. Good, you guys. All right, when you're ready, exhale, hands back down to the mat. Tuck the toes, the back foot, lift the knee, and then inhale, warrior one. So hop the back foot in and down, and up you come on the left side this time. Warrior one on the left side. So left knee over left ankle. Again, making sure you're in line. So you want to be able to see the first two toes. When you look down at your knee, you want to be able to see the first two toes on the inside. So the knee's in line with the ankle, that you're not creating any imbalances. Good, nice and long. From here, you're going to exhale to warrior two. Inhale, flip the left palm and reverse your warrior. Breathe here for three. Now again, the right hand can rest on the back leg, that's fine, but no weight. Otherwise, reach behind you to try and grab the front thigh if you can. If it doesn't matter, it can just hang loose. Breathing, nice and long through the torso. We don't want to collapse in warrior two. We want to fill the body with breath, keep that knee forward. And when you're ready, exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the left knee. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left hand to the inside of the left foot and breathe. Good, one breath. When you're ready, inhale, back to center. Exhale, turn your toes to the side of the mat. You can bring your hands to your hips if you wish. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, wide leg forward fold again on the left-hand side this time. So when you're down there again, have a little bounce, have a little sway. Take a nice deep breath. In your wide leg forward fold. Now notice if you can go a little wider this time, but again, no forcing, don't push anything. Just gently open your body. Or if you feel like today you want to take it easy, then just listen. And again, gently going to open up the legs, moving from left side to right side. And we are going to really get into the legs this time. So when you're ready, I want you to completely shift all of your weight to one side and then move and shift all of the weight to the other side. So as we do this, we shift our weight to one leg, that knee will be bent and will be on the ball of that foot. The other leg will be straight and you'll be on the heel of that foot. And then you can just gently shift over to bend the other knee, ball of foot, other leg straight, heel of foot. And just keep switching from side to side. Now, when we're in the house, when we don't have perhaps exercise machines, when we're limited in our range of movement, it's really important to keep all those connective muscles alive and awake. This will wake them up. Now you can play with this. You can maybe take your hands away from the mat. Maybe see how low you can keep your hips as you move from side to side. And maybe also see how slowly you can move from one side to the other. And you're really going to feel some things a little bit juicy, a little bit maybe burny, but that's okay. Just breathe into it and wake them up. Play around with it. Just feel the feet grounding into the mat, feel the toes, really waking everything up from toe into the core here. And then move as much as you like from one side to the other. Whenever you're ready, you can then just drop yourself down back to wide leg forward fold. And release. And again, you can take a jiggle of the legs, let go of the muscles and just really wobble everything right up into the glutes. Have fun with it. Feel everything loosen. And release. Good, you guys. Then again, a little bend in the knees. Use your inhale to tuck the pelvis and roll all the way up to stand. Exhale, turn the toes back to the top of the mat, bend the knee, back down into warrior two. Good. Right, from here, we are going to come into half moon pose. So again, you can grab your block. If you have one, place it on the outside of that front foot. And then when you're ready, come forward into your half moon. So taking the weight into that left leg, lifting the right foot away from the mat, bringing that right leg parallel with the ground, opening the right hip to the sky, and taking the right arm up to the ceiling. Breathe. And again, waking up the left foot, the muscles in that left leg, waking up our sense of balance, and breathing. In and out through the nose. And then whenever you're ready, again, you can step that right foot back down into your warrior two. Good. All right. From here again, gaze to your left middle finger. Inhale, flip the left palm and reverse your warrior. Then on your exhale, extended side angle pose. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm up over the head and breathe. Breathe here, stay here, or find a variation. So again, you can take the block and put your hand down to the block, or you can put your hand down to the mat, or you can find the bind, the right arm behind the back, the left arm under the thigh, or you can step up to bird of paradise if you want to step that right foot up next to the left foot, shift the weight to the right, and then inhale, raise the left. But it's entirely up to you. And again, we don't push or force anything. We find the right place for our body. Standing on the edge of the cliff is very exhilarating. Stepping over it is not so fun. So apply that principle to yoga. Good, then when you're ready, your next inhale from extended side angle, we're going to reverse our warrior, and you're going to flow between the two. Exhale, extend, waking up this lower pelvis. Inhale, reverse, the base of the spine. Exhale, extend that sacral chakra. Inhale, reverse, and then exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame the left foot steps back and go through your flow. So again, lowering, high through low, or knees, chest, chin if you're tired. Inhale, up dog, thighs engaged off the ground, shoulders down, away from your ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Good, take a couple of nice deep breaths in your downward facing dog. In and out, through the nose. Downward facing dog. Refuel, reset. Good. Right, now when you're ready, we're going to do a little bit of core work again. So I want you to drop your knees to the mat, tabletop. And very simply, just to wake up again this willpower, this core energy of our body, we're just going to do some extensions of arms and legs. So engaging, see, it's very easy to dip the back or let go of that muscle. So just engage through the back and the stomach. And then one at a time, you're going to inhale, extend the right arm and the left leg out behind you, so opposite limbs. And then exhale, you're going to bring the elbow and the knee together, crunching. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. One more. Inhale, open. And exhale, crunch. Good. Release and come back to tabletop, and then we'll swap over. So when you're ready, next inhale, left arm out in front of you, right leg back behind you, and exhale, knee to elbow. Good. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch and touch. Good. Inhale, open. Try and move as slowly and as controlled as you can. Exhale, crunch. That's where we build the strength. When we move too quickly, it's a lot easier. That's also where we hurt ourselves. Exhale, crunch last time. And then bring hands and knee back to mat. Good, you guys. All right. Now we're going to do a little side plank. So I want you to spin, come on to plank pose. And then when you're ready, take your right hand to the center of the mat, drop it in and down towards you a little bit so that your hand is going to be underneath your shoulder, right? And then spin onto the blades of the feet and lift the left arm to the sky. So if you want to take a variation, you can drop that right knee down to the mat, or you can actually kick it out in front of you Or you can play around with that left leg if you wish. But basically breathing in your plank as you wish. Then exhale, hands back down to the mat. To plank, and then I want you to lower as slowly as you can down to the mat to release and let go. We're gonna lie flat on the mat. Good. Okay, now we're gonna do a locust pose from here. So what that means is you can either take your hands behind your back and interlace your fingertips, or you can keep them under your shoulders. It's entirely up to you. And then when you're ready, you're going to kick and lift everything away from the mat. So you've got your last little baby rib and your hip touching the mat. Everything else is up and away from the mat. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale, kick and lift everything up away from the mat. Legs out behind you. Full posterior chain engaged from the neck, the back muscles, down into the glutes, the backs of the thighs, the calves. Everything up and active. Breathing. Again, watch the neck. You don't have to crane it back. Just lift it. And then exhale, release back down to the mat. Wiggle your hips to loosen out that lower back. Put your hands under your shoulders again. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, push back to child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead to mat. And breathe here. Just to reset, take a couple of nice deep breaths. In your child's pose to loosen out, all right? Take a nice deep breath. Just because we're still in our child's pose, it doesn't mean that it's an option to cop out or to tune out. We want to still be connected to the breath and be connected to our intention in our child's pose. Nice deep breaths. And again, with child's pose, don't forget you can have knees nice and wide, so you've got lots of room for your torso to breathe. Or you can have knees together, so you take a nice bend through the back. You can have arms out in front of you, reaching. Again, keep space in the shoulders, not too tight. Or you can have your arms back behind you, tucked behind your back. As you wish. Breathing. In and out through the nose. Then when you're ready, inhale, come forward to tabletop again. Exhale, tuck the toes back to plank. We're going to do side plank on the other side. So this time, taking the left hand to the center of the mat, dropping it in and down towards you a little bit. So the shoulder is above the wrist. Spin onto the sides of the feet, the blades of the feet, and breathe. And again, keep that core working, keep the hips high, and breathe. Little baby bend in this elbow so that you're not locking out the joint again. Good. Nice and strong. Again, take the variation if you want to drop that knee to the mat. It's entirely up to you. And when you're ready, or again, you can kick that foot out in front of you. When you're ready, back to plank. And again, we're going to lower. And we're going to do a little half push-up this time. Basically, you're going to do chaturanga practice. So you can drop your knees if you want. You can do from the knees rather than the feet, as you wish. But basically, notice how far forward my head is from my hands. I'll lower so my elbows come in line with my torso, and then I'm going to push back up again. So you can do that once, you can do that twice, you can do it as many times as you like, but just lowering halfway and pushing back up again. Good. And then when you're ready, just lowering back down to the mat to release. Good, you guys. Now you can take another locust again if you wish, or this time you can take a bow by reaching, bending the knees, reaching behind you, grabbing the feet, outside of the feet. And again, when you're ready, you can inhale, kick and lift everything up away from the mat. The goal is to get the knees as high as you can. That by default will lift the shoulders. So whenever you're ready, inhale, kick and lift everything up away from the mat in bow. And breathe. Now when you're in bow and you breathe, you'll find that torso expanding. If you're really using that diaphragm breath, you're going to inhale, it's going to rock you back. And as you exhale, you'll rock forward slightly. Inhaling, feeding those muscles, feeding those powerhouse muscles. Those thighs and those glutes are what's really working, so pump them with breath. And then when you're ready, exhale, release back down to the mat again. Hands under your shoulders. And wiggle the glutes again, wiggle that lower back, that hip, loosen it out. Loosen the lower back, take a deep breath in through the nose, and then exhale, child's pose again. So we've bent the back one way, we're now bending it the other to counter pose. So just sink down into your child's pose. Again, take whatever variation you like, knees wide or knees together. It's entirely up to you. Nice deep breath. Good, reset, refuel. Good, you guys. All right. When you're ready, you're gonna inhale forward back to tabletop. We're gonna come back to downward facing dog. Good. All right, now from here, I want you to inhale your right leg up and back behind you. And then bend the knee. You're gonna bring the right knee to the right wrist for half pigeon. So you're gonna bring the knee to the wrist, front of the mat. And again, that front thigh, that front shin, sorry, that doesn't need to be parallel with the front of the mat. That's the quickest way to damage your knee joints. Don't force or anything. I see people who physically place their shin at the front of the mat. Don't do it. Listen to your body. Now you can either stay up here and you can play around with mermaid by bending that back knee and reaching for it behind you. If you're gonna do that, don't spin and reach. Just gently reach back. Or you can just stay up and hang out here with the back leg nice and straight out behind you, that ankle nice and strong. Or you can fold down over that front thigh and breathe. Nice long deep breaths here. Now if you feel that glute and that hip fighting against you, it's a sign just to ease out a tiny bit. But otherwise just breathe into it. See what you can release. See what you can let go into. Again, with this time and this situation that we're in, we're going to fight against the grain, or we're going to go with it and find what gifts it offers us. A chance to look in. A chance to reassess how we come to the table of life. What we contribute, what we bring. It's entirely your call how you use this time. Breathing. All right, when you're ready, if you're down, you can walk yourself back up onto your hands. Then you're going to sink down onto that right hip and just spin that left leg out in front of you. So we're sitting now. Good. You're going to take the right knee up, step the right foot to the outside of that left knee, tuck the left foot to the right hip, and we're going to do a nice sitting twisted pose. So make sure that you can see me. From here, make sure those sitting bones are nice, both flat on the mat, so that you are grounded here. And then you're going to inhale, take that left arm to the sky, exhale, bring the elbow to the outside of the right knee, and just gently twist around to the right. Again, we're not trying to be an owl here, so we don't need to wrench our neck around. You can just sit tall. You can place the right hand to the back of the sacrum, the base of the spine, just to support the spine, and breathe. Every inhale, lengthen, and every exhale, just sink into a deeper level of comfort in that pose. Good. And when you're ready, just release, just counter pose, counter twist to the other side to let go, to loosen out. And spin your legs out behind you, come back to tabletop. Good. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, back to downward facing dog. This time left hand side, left leg up and back behind you. Bending the left knee, half pigeon on the left side, left knee, left wrist. Right leg out behind you this time. Again, nice and straight and strong. Place that back leg straight, strong ankle behind you. And again, you can stay up here and hang out here. You can play around with mermaid if you wish. You can bring the foot to the elbow, or you can just hold, or you can fold down into your half pigeon and breathe. And again, just letting that hip open. And whatever comes up, breathe through it. in and out through the nose, strong breath. Stay in your parasympathetic nervous system. Where's that intention? Where's that energy level that you want to be at, that you want to embody? Positive, clear, strong. And if anything asks for your attention, any worries, that's fine. Let them come. Don't block them out. Just meet them with that strength, with that breath, with that openness. Good, you guys. And then again, if you're down, come back up onto the hands, sit down onto the left hip this time, and then swing the right leg out in front of you to sit on the sitting bones again. Taking the left knee up, stepping the left foot to the outside of the right knee, taking the right foot, bending that leg so you bring the right heel to the left hip, so you bend the right knee, right heel, left hip. Nice and long and tall again. So this time we inhale the right arm, exhale right elbow outside of the left knee, taking the left hand, placing it at the base of the spine, the sacrum. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, just gentle twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release, just, as I say, into deeper levels of comfort in that pose. When you're ready, exhale, release, and counter pose, just twist back to the other side to loosen out. Then we're going to get back down onto the mat. So we've got 10 minutes, just under. So we're going to sit, bring your feet to the mat, arms out in front of you, nice deep breath in, and then exhale, unfurl, use your core to gently unfurl the spine, one vertebrae at a time, down onto the mat. And we're going to do a bridge before inversions. So shift your hips forward. Bring your heels to the back of your glutes. Try and touch your heels with your fingertips. And then make sure you're nice and strong through the shoulders. Now what's going to happen here is when you're ready, you're going to inhale, lift the hips away from the mat. Now as you do that, you're going to put weight through the neck and the shoulders. So what you don't want to do is be turning your head left or right. You just want to keep that neck nice and neutral, nice and strong, and just pump the hips to the sky. Pushing down through the heels, lifting, breathing. You can tuck your shoulders underneath you if you like, but I like to stay simple and open across the chest, across the shoulders, lifting the hips, and when you're ready, you can exhale, lower them back down to the mat. Good, you guys. We'll do one more. So if you want to take a wheel this time, just make sure your heels haven't crept too far away from your glutes. If they have, just tighten up. You can place your hands either side of your ears and push and lift up if you want to come into bridge. But otherwise, inhale, just lift the hips away from the mat again. And if you've got a block, you can place the block underneath you instead. You can place that on your sacrum, not on the spine, not on the coccyx, on the sacrum, and that can just support you here and be a real nice opener in that pelvis without having to work any of the muscles. If you've got any issues there that you're worried about, anything that you want to look after, a supported bridge is a nice place to stay. Then when you're ready again, lowering back down to the mat and just knocking the knees from side to side and bringing them up to the chest to have a little squeeze. Again, we've bent the back one way, we're just going to bend it back the other. And from here, you can take a happy baby, so you can grab the outsides of your feet or your big toes as you wish, and just bring those knees towards the mat, either side of the torso. From here, make sure that you are keeping the back of the head in contact with the mat. And just tuck your chin slightly so that you're creating as much length as you can, down through the back of the neck, down through the spine, down to the tailbone. And breathe. Good. From here, we're going to come into inversions before Shavasana. So I want you to come into plow pose first, taking your feet up over your head. So you're going to reach for the mat beyond you. Doesn't matter if they don't touch or you don't get there, but the goal is to just go as far over as you can. You can tuck your elbows in there nice and tight, place your hands on your back, create a nice strong base so you can lift your legs in to shoulder stand and breathe, and then flare the toes, push through the balls of the feet. It's going to feel different to pointing your toes. Going to feel more open. Good. Breathe. Nice deep breaths here. All that oxygenated blood is going to flush through your upper body organs now, rinsing through the brain. All those twists in the adrenals, everything detoxifying, flushing through, so make sure you drink lots of water after this. Breathing. When you're done, you can then come back to plow pose, or you can come to ear pressure pose by taking your knees either side of your ears. From here, you can take your hands back down to the mat and use them as brakes to gently unfurl yourself back down to the mat. And then get ready for Shavasana. So coming into Shavasana is basically lying flat on the mat. And I know the video will want to, or live will want to cut soon. So coming into Shavasana, lying flat on the mat. Feet turned out to the side, a little bit, legs open, arms away from the body, palms facing up. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, release out through the mouth. Again, maybe with that intention from what you started at the start of practice. In through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Good. And then just a gentle full body scan. So again, releasing everything from the toes, up through the legs, releasing all the muscles, letting go. Letting the body go back to doing the breath work for you. You don't have to pay any attention to your breath. Just going to go on autopilot again. You're just going to release every muscle all up through the torso, the chest, the back. Down through the arms. The hands relax. The neck. The jaw, the cheeks, the forehead, the face, everything. Release. Let your tongue lie broad in your mouth. And just breathe. And then in your Shavasana, just let your body absorb and assimilate all the good stuff that you've done for it in practice. Nice deep breaths. Letting the body go wherever it wants to go, the mind, subconscious, the heart, let it float. And I want to encourage you guys, instead of being frustrated at this time, maybe think about it as your own mini retreat. So if you were going on retreat, what would you want to invest your time and your energy into? Restoring you, focusing on you, focusing on what brings you joy and love and peace and how you want to bring that to the world. Use that time, use this time wisely. I'll be putting out meditations every day. I already do on my profile. It's Nick Darke, D-A-R-K-E. And I'm teaching here every Sunday at 11. Use your time on the mat to stay focused, to stay connected to what you value and how you want to bring that to life. Full of love, full of positivity, full of lightness, open, and with joy. You guys have been amazing. I hope you've had a good class this morning. If you have any feedback, please send it to One London or please send it to me, Nicdarke, Nick Darke, and I will take any requests and build them into practice for next week. But otherwise, you guys, I wish you a beautiful day. When you come out of Shavasana, just crawl yourself out gently. Take some nice deep breaths. Put your hands in prayer. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out that intention. Namaste, you guys. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining. I miss